I had to go to Jamaica last year, and I don't know if you saw my post about it, and I had some shorts on and a tank top, and I got ridiculed.
Because of the tank top.
With the tank top and the shorts, and it was an
Were they
outdoor
short, short?
concert.
Were they short, short?
No, they weren't booty shorts. No,
What
they weren't
do
booty.
they call those? What are the man, the dad shorts? The hoochie daddy shorts.
Hoochie Daddy. No, no, I didn't have Hoochie Daddy shorts on. You know, they were just. I mean, it was just regular look that I had on. I had some Travis Scott's on, and I was doing a concert. But me having a tank top on, and it became a problem. And those things can be a little fatiguing.
Yeah,
But
I imagine.
yeah,
I imagine. But I would imagine early too, a younger version of you.
a younger, well,
Less secure in
yeah,
your
yeah.
purpose and you
But the benefit of the younger Kirk,
what?
no social media.
Oh yeah.
See, social media gives everybody that microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Social media.
social media is what
Think to that.
it is always something. It's the necessary capital E word that we all are trying to maneuver with because it does a lot of good.
Do you think social media is evil?
I think that some humans have the capacity to possibly be evil.
And they use
Yeah, yeah,
mechanisms.
yeah. When you look at genocide and you look at racism and you look at child abuse and you look at spousal abuse, that's evil. It's evil. Weaponizing Christianity is evil. Weaponizing religion is evil.
Mm.
So humans, if not surrendered and not accountable, we have capacities, some of us, to be evil.
Mm.
And so it's not social media that's evil. It's the individuals that hearts are not pure and healed and whole and surrendered that
Yeah.
use that as a tool of evil.
I do agree with that, but I think also if you are not an evil person, but you're looking at evil stuff all day,
Mm.
that is, I think sometimes it makes people say and do things that they just got to be mindful. I think,
I agree with that.
you know what I mean? I think you got to be mindful because it's very easy to get sucked into something
Yeah.
that is not your true character. Sometimes even people I know, I'll see them post something or a comment that's made. I'm like, you would never say this to somebody's face. Or you would never. I don't know. I just think
Have a question?
sometimes it brings out bad in people. Yeah.
I have a question for you, and it's just a thought. I
Yeah.
don't know. Listening to you, if you don't mind me piggybacking on it.
No, please.
If they're scrolling, if these are good people and they're scrolling and they are intrigued by evil, maybe it does mean that seed was already there and these things water it. It's because you and I can look at certain things and it doesn't, like somebody like me, somebody who as a young man who struggled with being very promiscuous, and as a young man, maybe struggled with pornography. There are just certain things that I just can't, be engaged in. There's just certain things that I just can't even invite. It's because as much as I love God, I still live in a broken vessel. And so I have to
But
be.
isn't everybody a broken vessel?
Everybody's a broken vessel. I'm just the one that'll yell at the loudest. I yell at the loudest because you know why I yell at the loudest, Queen?
Right.
I yell at the loudest because I heal as I reveal.
I love that quote.
Yeah,
I love
yeah. When you go to a doctor's office, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to ask, tell me what hurts. So you got to participate in your recovery. You got to participate in the healing. And so I want to be as whole as possible. So I'm always yelling about what's broken.
It's the blowback of like I remember you being honest about porn addiction and that whole thing. And so you do that and you reveal to heal, but then not only is your own healing going on, there's also a wave of
Yeah.
church folk,
Yeah.
opinionated folk, and all that stuff comes at you.
And it's very interesting.
How do you navigate that?
Well, it was a very interesting thing is because, when I got invited on the Oprah Winfrey Show, it was just very interesting that, and this was 20 years ago.
Also, there were no memes.
Yeah, no memes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it would have been crazy.
Oh my God.
Is that I did accountability with the wife and my pastor and my whole team, and we See, the Oprah Winfrey people got the information from interviews that I was doing in Christian outlets. See, in Christian outlets, for somebody to say that they've gone through something and they see strength and victory in it, it's a testimony. What I found out and learned is that mainstream media is not built for testimony.
Oh, you're talking to my spirit, my soul right now.
It's not.
This is a battle that I struggle with, because when I started this podcast, it was really initially as a testimony. My first podcast, I tell this story all the time, but I had a really bad accident. I've lost a lot of family members in a short period of time. And I wanted to share how to get to the other side of that, what it felt like. I just felt like there was a connection to be had. And I wanted to tell people stories for people out there. This wasn't a money play, this wasn't but it really was. But then you get into the business of it and how clips are received and how you could have the greatest intention.
Yeah.
And somebody can take something that we say right now.
Right now.
Does not have the same intention.
Yeah.
And take a testimony.
Yeah.
And ruin it.
And that's evil.
I know. So what do? We still got to do testimonies, right? We can't.
We still have to do what we do in the midst of the reality that we live in an evil world.
I don't mean to make it sound like I do what you do, but
we do the same.
Well, that's very sweet.
We do the same thing, and again, that's something that I live to deconstruct. Is I think, for example, like Angie, I can be on a plane, and there are people, and I promise this. I put this on everything I love. This happens to you, boy. I can be on a plane, and people will get on the plane, and they'll see me, and they'll stare from me, going, "Oh, we're going to be safe on this flight. This plane ain't going down because we got God on this plane." When I'm thinking, what makes you think Christians die in plane crashes? People really think.
You were the direct.
Yes. And so when you talk about what you do is different than I know it ain't. Just because I talk about God don't mean you don't live for God.
Yeah.
And just because I talk about God don't mean that I'm closer to God than you are.
It doesn't? No, well, okay.
You've been funny. You've been serious.
No, okay. Maybe not in that way, but in a way where you have worked on your connection with him in a way that you could lead people to him.
Yeah.
I believe it. That way.
No. If somebody comes in here and says to you, Angie, I'm thinking about killing myself.
Oh, God.
I'm mad at God and I don't think that God loves me. Whatever you say to them is just as loving to God's heart, and he hears your words as beautiful as if I said the same thing to them and I pulled out a Bible and did it.
What would you say to them? I'm just curious.
First of all, I would hurt with them. I would tell them I'm so sorry, and I know how it feels to be mad at God. And I don't know why God allows painful things to happen to good people. And I want you to know that you being angry at God, that's your right to. If he calls himself your father, you have every right to go to your father and tell him that you're pissed off, that you're angry, and that you're mad. If God is God, first of all, he ain't no punk, he ain't weak. If he's a daddy, he's there to hear even my angers and my frustrations at him. And if you choose to walk away, I want you to know that I hate that you have been that hurt, but I do want you to know if you ever want to come back, there's not a time that you can't come back. And your anger does not stop God's love for you. You can be angry and you can be hurt, and I'll pray for you. And I want you to know it does not make you a bad person to be upset and angry at God. It makes you human.